Welcome everybody to another episode of Foreign and Domestic. The Crazy Scotsman right there is the foreign and I am the domestic, Alan BePro, and we've got ourselves an illustrious panel here. Lovely to see everybody out in the side chat. We've got a rocking house this evening. Scotsman, you want to take her?
All right. Well, welcome everybody. We don't have too many people out there yet, but hopefully people will jump in here pretty soon. I would like to thank everyone joining the panel. And I'm going to kick it right off to Mel, Right to Bear Customs. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Mel Fogg. I'm with Right to Bear Customs. I'm glad to be a part of the chat. I've been invited the last couple times, but I'm usually asleep by now during the week. But I'm gonna see how long I stay up for. I'm gonna share a couple beers with you guys and kick it tonight for a little while, and we might even talk about microphones later. So we'll see how that goes.
Awesome. Phil M. Rivers, how are you doing, brother? You want to do an introduction?
All right. How about yourself? I am fine here. Phil M. Rivers. I do a channel on YouTube and VidMe. Just uploaded a video tonight. Right before we got on here, and I am the 150 subscriber winner for Right to Bear Arm or Right to Bear from Mel. He's Right to Bear Customs, the 150 subscriber winner of the holster. So that'll be coming out soon. So I just appreciate Mel for donating that or making that, and he does some very good work, and I can't wait to get it.
You're so welcome.
Awesome. Congratulations, man. We have Daniel, God is my judge.
Hey, Scotty and Alan, thanks for having me on tonight. I wasn't expecting this. The only thing I got going on new is started up the VidMe channel, and it's kind of like a secret squirrel thing because there's a couple trolls out there. So if anybody wants the name, I'll shoot it to you over in a PM.
All right, awesome. And Joey Cuz, last but not least, would you like to do an intro?
What's going on, guys? Joey Cuz. Tell me shut the fuck up. That's about all I could say. Oh, wait, Alan, you got your sign?
Yes, I do have my sign, Joey. I do have my sign.
There it is.
It ain't right unless you hashtag it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the hashtag.
All right, so appreciate everyone showing up. Alan, would you like to kick off with any topics you might have? I got a few for tonight, but I'll let you kick it off.
Well, there's been a couple of videos that I've dropped. The P320 video is getting nice responses to it. I'm getting a lot of particular one. I did the announcement for this particular one, and I did want to make sure that everybody knew the type of content and the characters that we were not looking for to come into the chat. Other than that, I may be pumping out some shooting videos soon, and I won an award, folks. I absolutely won an award. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I might just mount it like right here. I don't know.
So for everybody watching right now, that's actually not an award. If you're not quite sure what that is, I'm going to let Mel take this, but I'm pretty sure that is the holder, the original holder, for the new brand spanking new mic that someone was nice enough to donate to our friend Alan.
He said she was.
I have been the recipient of one of the fancy dancy Blue Yeti mics. I've been told it makes me look like I'm lagging when I'm talking, but it does sound good. I've got the Knox pop filter and the nice on stage stand there. It does seem to be functioning, but I don't have it quite dialed in yet.
So Mel, you kind of we were kind of talking beforehand. You know where this kind of came from, don't you? Would you like to take this one?
Well, I think he said it was a young lady that donated it to him, and younger than his mom. So I don't think it's his mom, but it is a viewer or a subscriber of his. He just doesn't know who the subscriber is by a YouTube name. He knows her personally, just doesn't know if she's watching. So if you're watching, just say hello to us, and we would like to congratulate you on air for giving him this pretty shiny, sexy toy.
Yeah, I do not know if she even has a YouTube username or not. I don't know if she's one of my subscribers, or one of the 3 people that actually watch my videos or not. But she was a very, very kind woman to endow me with such a wonderful piece of equipment.
And
well, how does she know you do chat?
Would you be so kind, Alan, to let everyone know how you told us how to how you described this woman?
Well, you gentlemen were describing a particular other individual that shall remain unnamed. And I was trying to indicate that individual was not shaped like the lady that bestowed this upon me.
And how is that?
I would have to say that I probably said the word spherical. I could be lying, but I might have said the word spherical.
No, just out of curiosity, did you do a hand motion also of spherical? If I remember right, I'm pretty sure you did.
I thought you said spiritual.
Okay. Like some New Yorkers, I do talk with my hands because you can't understand what the fuck they're saying. So you have to be able to see what they're saying. And so I kind of had to make this gesture of, kind of bulbish.
Like an hourglass?
Not that there's anything wrong with being bulbish.
Is it like an hourglass? Was it like an hourglass?
Probably more like a 7-hour glass.
Like that?
So it continues on for a little bit?
I mean, I've never timed her, thank God. That is usually a task that's left up to the Crazy Scotsman. But I haven't timed her myself. So I'm guessing probably about a 7-hour glass.
So how does she know you do chats?
Oh, because I sell my channel everywhere I go.
Oh, okay.
I walk down the street and say, "Excuse me, I have a YouTube channel, sub me." I have a YouTube channel, sub me.
So this person
And
just walked down the street and said,
I ran into this woman. We were in a big giant parking lot and there was nothing else there and I couldn't get around her. So I kind of had to run into her.
Hold on. I gotta stop you. Big Johnson Guns and Gear. You spend time in a truck stop bathroom.
I can't say that I haven't. I've had a lot of unfortunate circumstances happen in truck stop bathrooms. If you've ever been in one, it's an experience.
Yeah, one can only imagine the experience.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't have to imagine it, and I've been in truck stop bathrooms from coast to coast. It's not a pretty thing, but at least it's not like bathrooms at rest areas or.
All right, so
in
moving on
parks.
before Joey starts having flashbacks.
What, do you see me twitching over here?
I do.
See you wiping that drool from your chin and just...
All right, so let's bring up a more serious topic for shits and giggles. So, Alan, a while back, you did a video on limp wristing, and it kind of came up in TR's chat the other night a little bit, and we were kind of talking about it. And I told you the way that you were shooting, you were still locking your wrist. And the reason I said that, and I'm going to take a gun, it is empty for all you fucking snowflakes out there, if there's any snowflakes watching. The reason I say that is because the way he was holding it like this. So if you look, my wrist is still locked. I can't limp wrist this when my wrist is locked. Only way you're going to be able to limp wrist it is if your arm was all the way extended and just babying the freaking gun. So that's just my opinion. I don't know if anyone else wants to jump in on that, but literally when you did that video, you were locking your wrists to the point where there was no limp wristing going on.
Well, I've had people accuse me of that before in that particular video. But honestly, if you do watch the video, yeah, I have my arm in this faction. So in a sense, it is sort of locked, but the one thing that I'm not doing is I'm not choking up on that at all. And I'm actually firing the weapon with 2 fingers. So I had it in my weak hand and firing it like this. And you can actually see the weapon rock in my hand. So, yeah, I did have my arm at almost a 90-degree angle while I was shooting it. I watched a bunch of Joey's videos, and I thought that was the natural form.
You'll never get my form. I can't even teach that. It just comes natural in me.
But if you, I really did try to do it as loosely as I could without dropping the weapon. And especially later in the video, you can especially see how the weapon is actually rocking in my hand.
You favored Lance really well right then. Y'all could have been twins.
All right, I got something to throw in here. Alan, when you held yours, you went like this with 2 fingers out, like that. When the Scotsman did it, he did it teacup with the pinky out, like that.
Thanks.
So,
well,
no,
that's
the
only
pinky,
because the Scotsman is a gun snob.
He's dainty.
now, yeah, there you go, Joey. The dainty pinky.
Scotsman, did you have your afternoon tea today?
Yes, sir, I did.
I knew it. Some traditions don't.
Yeah, I seriously did attempt to try to get the 3 weapons that I brought out for that test to induce a malfunction. I was being very facetious during the shooting of those weapons, where I'm like, I don't understand, why isn't it doing it? But I genuinely was trying to get my weapons to do it, because especially this particular one had a malfunction, and it was the only malfunction that I had with this particular weapon. And so I needed to know if it was me causing it by doing a limp wrist move, or just something else had happened.
So Pops brings up a really good point. The next time you do that video, you need to use some Crisco.
Well, now that my P320 has been returned from SIG, I'll contemplate that.
Well, I know I tried to do a VR for Alan on that, because I told him to try a Glock, because I tried to have my wife shoot the Glock 43, or I'm sorry, the 42, and she kept inducing malfunctions, and she was shooting with 2 hands and trying to get her to lock the wrist. And when I shot with 1 hand, and I even tried doing with what Alan did, was just basically hold it with 1 finger, and I couldn't induce the malfunction at all. So I tried it with the 17, couldn't induce a malfunction. I don't know whether it's just because we've been shooting so long that we automatically know how to shoot.
Well, let me ask you this, Phil. Were you holding it the same way he was and locking his wrist?
Well, I tried to shoot it straight out and taking 2 fingers off the actual weapon or the gun and holding it like that and then shoot it. So I did have my arm locked out, and I was trying to get the wrist to rock, and I couldn't induce the malfunction. I don't know what it is, whether it's just because I have a better grip than my wife does, or whether it's just a fluke that she was doing it, because like I said, I tried to induce the malfunction and I couldn't induce it.
My wife had a problem like that, except what she was doing, it wasn't with the wrist. She wasn't locking her elbows. She left her elbows bent when she was shooting.
So I think you need to try again. I think you need to do another video, not lock your wrist, and not try to joke about it as much as you were in that prior video. And actually, you know, take it a little more on the serious side and not so much on the Lance side, and see what the results are.
I'll give it a run. Sure, I'm up for that. I'll give it a run, because I truly want to know, because I carry all those particular weapons, and I truly want to know if it's something that I'm doing with my grip that might possibly induce it. I have seen the problem happen. Mac from the Military Arms channel was able to induce limp wrist malfunctions with a Glock.
Yeah, but if you watch the video, like, he barely had a grip on the gun to begin with. Like, he was holding it just like him.
He had to hold it a very specific way and extremely delicately, and even at that, I do want to see if I can get almost to the point of dropping the weapon, if it's still going to cause a malfunction or not. I do not have a Glock testing. So if anybody wants to send me one, more power to you. But I will gladly test any of the weapons to see if I can get them to malfunction. But Military Arms channel isn't the only guy that I've seen do it. Seen a number of other people do it. Another guy that I watch occasionally is Gun Sam, and he's been his girlfriend to shoot and wanted to try and train her on a Glock. And I've seen him shoot this Glock 1,000 freaking times easily. He never has problems with it at all. Puts it in her hand, and 3 rounds later, it jams up. Robin says she's got one that 22 that I can use for that test. I'll come pick that thing up from you, Robin. Absolutely.
So our side chat has given us, I guess, our next kind of topic. So locked elbows versus not locked elbows. I'm going to let Mel start with this one.
That was a good one. Let's start with the most inexperienced person on the panel. You know, I think it depends on the caliber of the weapon, I think. If you got that big Desert Eagle up there, you're going to try to reinforce your whole body. And it depends on the size of the man or the woman. If you're a big muscle-bound guy like the Scotsman, you're going to want to maybe keep your elbows loose and, and shoot with, use your muscles to shoot the weapon. But if you're scrawny like me, you're going to want to lock your elbows on a 50 cal, So I don't know. I think it's physics and a little bit of geometry and maybe some science involved. So I think it depends on the caliber.
Okay. And Phil, what's your kind of point of view on that one?
Oh, I tend to lock them out. Well, it's not totally locked out, but there's a little bit of flex in there, and I know I don't lock them like straight out, but I have a slight bend in them, and it's rigid, and I try and keep a good grip on the gun. And even one-handed, I tend to try to maintain a nice grip on it and push it out. And I don't really, like I said, I don't really lock them out like you would lock your knees out when you're standing at attention, something like that.
Okay.
There's a little bit of give there.
And Daniel, I think you'll have a good point to this as a bow shooter, just like myself. When you shoot a bow, you do not lock your elbows. How about when you shoot your gun, brother? Do you lock your elbows up?
Well, I just drew my carry gun out and just took the natural pose I always shoot with. My right elbow is locked when my left elbow is not locked. I have the right arm fully extended out to where I'm going to shoot, and my left elbow is not. So I'm just going to have to film this and try shooting them unlocked, making a conscious effort on both ways to see which way groups faster.
All right. And
better.
Joey,
Yeah, I'm actually thinking the same thing. Like when I fully extend, like my right elbow is slightly bent, but my left one is locked. Like that's something I just really didn't even like really think about, and I'm just it's like my right elbow does have a slight little bend to it, but my left elbow is definitely locked.
Okay. And Alan, what's your opinion there, Chief?
It really depends upon my stance. If I'm standing stagnant, if I'm moving, it varies. It really varies. If I'm pulling up on targets, I might pull straight out, but I'm not going to lock both of them. But I also do the same thing that Daniel does sometimes, where my right arm is locked, but my left is not. Up and out, it's always tucked in. I don't lock my arms straight out. If I'm dead straight with the target, I'm not going to lock my arms straight out and do the tactical turtle thing either.
So let me ask you this: you're talking about
the tactical getting ready to take a dump stance.
So
I don't quite understand that.
About one arm being locked up, one arm being slightly bent, but is that forcing you to turn your head more because you're almost turning the gun when you lock your arm all the way out and have one slightly bent?
Yeah, well, if you notice when you shoot one-handed, you don't shoot one-handed straight 90 degrees. It's just like when you go to punch. At least for me, that's how I was trained. And so whenever I shoot one-handed, I'm not shooting at a 90 degree or a 45, but I do have it cocked. I don't have it at a straight up 90 degrees.
I just tried drawing both ways, and there's a laser on my gun, and each time when I did not lock my elbows, the laser went right where I was looking, and the sight picture, that front sight, was right there. When I locked my right elbow, I had to adjust my eyes or the barrel of the gun. I just did it 4 or 5 times each way, and the unlocked, it was naturally pointed right where I was looking.
Daniel brings up a good point and kind of where I was going. When I draw my gun, I don't lock all the way. I have a slight bend, and I think part of me being a bow shooter Daniel's a bow shooter as well. I think part of that transfer is over because when you hold your bow, you keep a slight bend in your arm. You do not lock your arm all the way off, because if you do, you gotta get up and slap with that string. But also, you end up torquing the bow a lot more when you shoot. So you tend to keep a slight bend in your elbow in order to keep that everything lined up. I do the same thing with my gun. Even though I have both hands on the firearm, I have a slight bend in both elbows. It's not for that string. But also, you end up torquing the bow a lot more.
What just happened?
Ed just
joined.
Oh, Joe.
What's up, Ed?
What's up, Joey? What's going on? How you doing?
Thanks.
Doing good, brother. Good to see you.
Quite a great panel here tonight. Good deal.
Now that you're
I like
here,
it.
sir.
Except for that guy, Joey.
Who invited Ed?
Well, I actually brought Joey on for a particular topic. We haven't quite got there yet, so it's just been an unfortunate accident that he's still here.
Christ.
But we'll get to that
Yeah.
topic here shortly.
Oh, okay. Damn. Good to be alive. Good to be alive.
Bold and Curious wants to know if a slight bend in his dick is good.
So, Ed, we
Oh,
were
Lord.
That depends if he's trying to go around a corner or not.
That's what I was thinking too.
Ed, we were just talking about whether you should have a bend in your elbow or lock your arms up when you're shooting. What's your thoughts?
Oh my God, I don't think I lock my elbows. It's kind of uncomfortable for me to do that. May just be my stand. I don't know. I'm not really sure. What's the consensus? Who's locking their elbows and who's not? Is it just a question from someone or?
Well, it was kind of in the side panel, and a lot of people on the panel here said that they tend to, when they're drawing, they realize they're locking their elbows. Myself personally, I don't lock mine, and I was kind of discussing the difference of transferring from a bow to a gun, and the fact that you don't bend you keep a slight bend in your elbows with a bow, and I do the same thing with my firearms as well. Majority of the panel have kind of gone locked and locking their elbows off.
I was just trying it with my everyday carry, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not really locking my elbows. Not like I see some guys do, but straight out. Yep, just a little bit of flexibility, but yeah, I'm not locking mine when I shoot.
If I just pull and aim, I'm actually not fully locked.
Right.
You're also shooting at an angle. You're not shooting straight at a target. You're not at a 90-degree angle. You're like that.
I'm not.
You're doing a game.
I'm not squared up.
You got it half gangster cock. You're sort of the halfway, which is natural. I'm sure that's probably a natural pull.
Yeah, for me, that's just a natural thing to do. I've just been doing that for so long. It's hard to break, but I noticed that if I'm squared up to the target, then I'm normally straight up every time. But I typically tend to blade myself. I don't know why. It's just
that
I just do
your
it.
grip that you had a minute ago at this angle looked like it was more predominantly just one hand instead of two hands to me.
So let's move on to the next topic, and I'm not sure if Alan has any, but I got quite a few topics that kind of stemmed off of TR's chat last night, and kind of rolling the ball on some of that stuff. So there was a lot of talk about starting people on revolvers, versus semi-autos. I'm not going to get into that because, trust me, that went on for over an hour. People were getting pissy. I'm not going to jump into that. What I want to jump into is caliber versus shot placement. What are your thoughts?
Caliber versus shot placement.
I'd go with shot placement.
Yeah, I'll have to go with Joey on that one.
Yeah, it's shot placement. I mean, you shoot them with a 50 cal and a Desert Eagle, it's going to hurt in their arm, but they're probably still going to be coming.
Shoot somebody with a 50 AE in their elbow, it might take their limb off.
Okay,
Let's exaggerate it. It might take the whole limb off, but let
me clarify that topic. Let me clarify that topic a little more. So what I meant by that was there was a lot of with a revolver, for example, just pull the gun, pull the trigger, bam, 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 bam. Versus a semi-auto, you got to pull it. You got to make sure you're aiming properly, and make sure you cock the hammer, whatever, and bam, 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 bam. So that was kind of where I was going with that versus, caliber size versus shot placement. I'm a big proponent of revolvers. I love revolvers. I love carrying revolvers. I love teaching people on revolvers versus a semi-auto and then moving them to a semi-auto. For example, Daniel, perfect person who's on the channel right on the chat right now. He was big on that. He learned real fast. Literally within a couple of hours, he went from groups freaking like this to groups like this. So, I'm a big proponent of that. And that's kind of where I was going with that when it comes to that, because there was a lot of talk of just draw and bam, 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 bam. So when it comes to caliber versus shot placement, would you rather have a larger caliber or would you rather have a smaller caliber and get that better shot placement? For example, if you don't train as much as we all do, if you're a novice or fairly new and only shoot, once a month or twice a month, whatever.
Well, just I carry 9mm. What's that tell you about my shot placement?
Better be good.
I'm looking for the shot placement. I'm not carrying a big giant 45. I'm not carrying a 50. I'm not looking for a big giant freaking bullet so that I don't have to shoot twice, whatever the saying is. Shot placement is where it's at.
I agree.
I'm going to have to say shot placement, and this is the reason why. Like if you're out hunting, okay, and you get in that stress situation where you got the big monster, you got this thing called buck fever. But if you practice a lot and you got confidence in where you're going to put your shot, that buck fever isn't, you're not going to be thinking of what can go wrong. Everything's going to be natural. So caliber really is out the window. It's shot placement no matter what caliber because you're well practiced on it.
Shot placement to me is completely where it's at. I carry a smaller one. If I don't happen to make my first shot, I'm on target faster. That's my theory.
Yeah, that's true. The larger calibers like a 44 Magnum or special versus a 9mm, trying to put your revolver or whatever you're shooting back on target again. If you miss, and you got to look at situations too. What are you going up against? I've seen here in East St. Louis, 3 black guys robbing, a grocery store, and every one of them had a 9mm carbine. Where did they get those at? I mean, what's your chances against, guys with 9mm carbines versus your one 9mm? and a couple of mags, I mean, it's, you know, it's going to be like high you know, your adrenaline's just going to be pumping, you know. You got in a situation like that, which I hope I never do.
All right, so I think we all agree shot placement over caliber.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, we're coming into the colder weather, and I don't know if any of you guys switch up what you carry on a daily basis, but do any of you guys change up and do a winter EDC versus a summer, fall EDC?
I do sometimes. I like to carry my 1911. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but it doesn't really bother me.
A little. I'll switch from the Walther PPSM2 to the Glock 26 or the 17,
Mm-hmm.
or even the VP9. So carry
And
full size
Joey,
gun.
you're a perfect example for this particular topic, since the states you're in, you really can't go higher capacity. So do you switch it up, or you just keep carrying the same 10 rounds?
No, basically, it kind of defeats the purpose of carrying a full size because, I mean, I got a P224 that holds 10 rounds also, so might as well just carry something smaller. I mean, as far as round capacity goes, like I said, it doesn't make a difference. Like summer-wise, it was either the PPS or the XDS 45. So, like I said, I have no reason really to carry full size because I don't have the round capacity. So the P224 and 357 SIG is actually what I'm starting with. Well, going back to now for the winter. Because then again, why would you want to carry around the extra weight if you don't have to?
Well, it all depends on the rig you're wearing. Like, the summer gun, okay. The little SIG, 380. Pocket gun, I mean, easy to conceal and always carry around. The winter, I used to carry my Kimber 45, but now I caught the CZ virus and I've turned green. So, I'm carrying around a 9mm, but with a total of 37 rounds. And I use that with the waistband. It looks like a back brace. Just need a little modification on that. And there's going to be an outstanding rig where you can carry a full-size rig year round. So I'm going to leave it on that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I generally carry this year round, my 357. During the winter, more than likely, 9 times out of 10, I got my 44 mag in the shoulder rig. Or if I don't have that in the shoulder rig, I got my Beretta in the shoulder rig. And the only reason I carry those more than anything on the shoulder rig side of things is just because during the colder weather, I can wear a jacket and don't have to have the extra weight on my hips. And but other than that, I'll carry my 357 and I always have speed strips loaded up, ready to roll. Keep it nice and easy, nice and light.
The temperature never makes any difference to me in any way, shape, or form. It has everything to do with where I think I'm going to end up being. If I'm going to be in a higher populated, higher crime area, I'm going to want to carry the bigger gun. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I know a number of people will have problems with me walking around with a little LC9S Pro most of the time. But I live in a little tiny town that almost nothing ever happens. And so this is going to do well enough, I suspect. I'm not going to need the 15, 17 round mag to be able to stop a situation that's happening in my little tiny town. If I go, like I said, if I go up into more populated areas, more areas that I know are bad areas, if I was ever to go visit Joey, I would have to bring this one, unfortunately. But but it also does make a very valid point that having the right holster for for the weapon will make all the difference in the world.
And on that point, while we have Mel on here, Mel, you want to talk a little bit about the right holster?
The right holster?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm finding out that I don't think there is a right holster. Everybody's different. Their wants and needs are different. Their body styles are different. You make a decent holster, and then somebody says, "Oh, well, I wear skinny jeans, and I can't fit your holster down my pants." I make it for pure comfort, so I'm not making it for somebody that might wear skinny jeans, or I mean, different things like that. I don't know what would be, it's, a holster is comfortable with other people in different ways. So I don't know what else to say on that. I don't like straight Kydex. I can't stand making straight Kydex holsters. So I'm looking for comfort when I'm wearing something.
So what's the reason behind not making straight Kydex? You say you hate that. Why do you hate it?
I don't think they're comfortable. You ever worn just straight Kydex inside the waistband?
I have.
Riding on the back of the tractor? Who's calling who? I don't think they're that comfortable. Now, there are some really good holster makers out there that make just Kydex holsters, taco holsters. They do a great job. There's pancake holsters. They do a great job. But I don't think they're that comfortable. So it's a rigid, you feel something really rigid in your waistband. You know it's there all the time. Some of my holsters, you forget that they're there. That could be good and that could be bad. Depends on if you're in an active shooting situation. So.
All right, Alan, anything to add?
Not really. I mean, I carry everywhere I go. Even though I live in this little tiny Bodoc town, I carry when I leave my bedroom. If I've got pants on, which typically when I leave my bedroom I do, I'm carrying. Even if I'm just going to be in the house all day long. So comfort does play a little bit of a factor, but that's got to be customized to each individual person and what works for them. Some people can comfortably carry appendix all day, every day. I cannot do that in any way, shape, or form. But to each their own. As long as you carry, that's my big thing. Just carry your gun.
Find what works for you and go with that. Is what I'm trying to say. It may not be one of my holsters. It may not be an all leather holster. It might not be a hybrid holster. It might not be an all Kydex holster. Just find something you like and go with it.
Yeah. Well, I after seeing your videos, your giveaway and everything, Mel, I really liked your how can I put it? The appeal of your holsters, because see, I use a Nate Squared, and it's a fine holster. It's comfortable to me. I've traveled with it all the way to Minnesota and back. Problem is, it's bulky. You know what I'm saying? And it, and yours looks a little more streamlined.
Mine can be bulky too. It depends on your body shape.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if y'all saw Lance's holster that he put out the other day. Photo Boy 32's video. That one was a joke. It was a joke, but it was also a bulky holster. It was three layers of leather. There were three layers of leather, and that came up to being about 15 ounces of leather there, plus Kydex. So it was a substantial. Yeah, I made it looked like my uniholster, but it was really just made for wearing on the outside of the waistband.
Mm.
It was just for show. It was supposed to be filmed at Farmageddon, and it didn't. We all sort of started getting sick, and I think things just didn't happen. So not many videos got made other than the shooting day that we had. We did the
Yeah.
So none of the fun videos got made, except for around the campfire. But
Yeah.
the my smaller holsters that are just inside the waistband, they're really comfortable. You don't even know they're there. Well, I wear mine about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and riding in my big pickup, you can't even tell it's sitting on me. But I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", 220, so I don't feel it like. But I'm not muscle. I've got some rolls there, so
Yeah, the love handles like me.
it's
Nothing wrong with that.
And I wear a little Glock 26, so it's not. Now, when I wear my XD, I notice I have something on my hip, but it's still not uncomfortable because it's shaped. The uniholster shaped to your hip, and you can sort of circle it around to the front or to the back of your hip. So, but it's to each his own on the holsters. And I haven't branched out to doing straight Kydex. I want to get good at what I'm doing now. I'm not going to branch out anytime soon either. So I'm just going to sit here on the hybrid scene for a little while.
Yeah, I'll have to get a hold of you or PM you or something, because I don't know if you can do a holster for a 5.7.
It depends on what kind of. It depends on if I can get the mold for it.
Yeah.
And I think I have seen a 5.7 mold.
Yeah, the FN 5.7.
It's the FN, right? Is it the FN?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I can see if I can get it.
Cool.
I had to turn down Cobra Burnout today. He wanted his Ruger 1911, and they just don't make a mold for that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the big guns, they don't, unless they're a popular brand name. I mean, popular, like a CZ is real popular right now. They're making all the CZs. Glock, anything that's a police officer, carry a Smith & Wesson or a Glock. You can get lights, you can get lasers, molds with those. But if you try to get a laser or a light on something else, those molds aren't out there for anybody to get. And the process I use, I dunk my holsters in warm water and then put under a 20-ton press to form it. I would not put anybody's real gun through that. I would fear of scratching it, or a light through that. I'd fear of getting water damage and crushing it or something. I wouldn't go that route at all. I wouldn't ask you to see anything or anything. So.
So the final topic I have is dry fire practice, lasers, and optics on your pistols. What do you guys think about all that?
Wow.
Well, I have the
let's go.
RX.
Open this up, Joey.
Well, I've just got the 320 with the RX, which has the Romeo 1 red dot on it. And to be honest, I actually do like it. I wasn't sure if I would, but it works pretty good. I mean, you pick it up right away. You don't, as long as that dot is on whatever you're aiming at, you'll hit it. So you can have it like cocked a little bit, but like the dot doesn't have to be exactly in the center of, the sight. and it actually does work pretty good. I mean, it's a little pricey, but you know, they do work. And I am thinking about getting another one for you know, for a different setup. So see how that one goes.
Daniel, what's your thoughts, man? I know you have lasers on some of your pistols.
Well, yeah, I got some lasers. I mean, the summer gun, it's got the laser on it. And that way I just look for the dot. I don't have to worry about aiming. It's I think it's a more faster way to hit what you need to shoot if you're carrying. I mean, if you're in the situation, you need everything in your favor. Like the winter gun is bigger, so I've got to practice and learn to aim better. So I just think when the police, some of the studies I seen and read before I started buying pistols, the police went to lasers and their shot to hit ratios in situations improved drastically. So that's why I got a laser on some of my guns.
Yeah, well, also too, you're going from looking at lining up 3 dots to just finding one, which is a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, one dot on where you want to hit.
Yeah, I'm having lasers right now, but that is true.
Now, point shooting, combat shooting, whatever you want to call it. You're not really using your sights. For the most part, when I'm out shooting, this is the type of shooting that I'm doing. I'm doing draws and shoots. I do a lot of dry fire training. I haven't made that a secret in any way, shape, or form. Dry fire training. I do a ton of dry fire drills. I do them on a regular basis. I do dry fire training every day. Now, for the longest time, I did not focus on accuracy in any way, shape, or form. I'd put up one of those kinds of targets, and if I'm hitting center mass or I'm hitting headshots, why do I need to be looking at my accuracy? I'm looking at my front sight, which I'm not taking my vision off of my target at the same time. As for lasers, I think that they can be a very good training tool for the beginners, but I think that natural reaction draw, that natural point and shoot, needs to be on par, because you're not going to be in a situation where you're going to be looking for a dot. You're going to point and shoot.
So I have a question for Daniel, since I spent some time with Daniel and we've kind of worked on different techniques of shooting and focusing on the front sight, ignoring the rear sight. And Daniel's talking about having a laser and utilizing that laser. When it comes to you get into that situation, you have to draw that pistol. Do you think you're going to have time to get that laser on target versus immediate action of that front sight on target and pull the trigger?
I think it's going to be instinctive. And the reason I say this, I mean, the laser, you'll see the dots. So, I mean, it's going to register whether you're looking for it or not. And it'll probably be there and you won't even think about it. You go into the situation, it's going to be pull and shoot. And when I was a kid, I used to take a .22 revolver down to the pond and shoot snakes. And I'd always aim. And I picked up the boat one day and I aimed at this one gardener snake. And I missed again and again. Well, there was 2 snakes. The second snake reared back and went to draw back, and it was a copperhead. I didn't even aim at that thing, and I put 2 shots. One went through the center of its head, and the other one went 2 inches down the neck. And I didn't aim on that. So the one I was aiming at, I completely missed. The one that was instinctive, it hit it both times. So I think, like Alan said, where you're just pulling and shooting, and I think more instinctive aiming is going to come up in that situation. I think with the laser and the other one with the front sight, that's when you're going to do that in practice or in competition, but that's going to be building muscle memory a lot better. So when you do have to go instinctive, that's going to help you improve, at least from what I'm thinking and what I'm seeing right now.
And that precisely is why I do as much dry fire training as I do. I won't do my dry fire training at full bore speed all the time. I'll do it slow. It's literally to train your muscles to get up on that spot every time. Because you're going to be looking at your threat. You're not going to be looking for a dot. Chances are is you're not going to be looking for a sight in a self-defense style situation. You're not going to look at your sights at all. You're going to be looking at your target. Hopefully. Thoughts on that, Joey?
I mean, yeah, it does make sense. That's why I kind of think the red dot might be a little bit better than the laser, only because, like you said, you're actually, when you're bringing it up, you're not exactly looking on the target for the dot, but you can actually, get the sight a little bit better on the red dot itself. I don't know. I guess it also comes down to personal preference and training wise, what you're used to.
And my thing with lasers, for example, is people end up relying on that laser. And just say, for instance, they go to draw their gun, they get in that situation, they go to draw their gun, the battery dies, there's no laser, shit hits the fan, now what are they going to do? They've trained so much one particular way, they don't know what to do next. I think it's very, very important to train with that weapon in the exact manner that you intend to carry it with every single day. And if you do intend on carrying something like a laser, that every single time, you make sure that thing is working before you leave the house and all that kind of stuff. But my biggest thing with lasers is people rely on that laser instead of their sights. And then when it comes down to it, especially in daylight, for example, a red laser will not show up very well whatsoever. And, people are going to get themselves in trouble, and there's so many different things that can happen with that. For me, I'm not a fan of lasers on pistols, period. Not a fan. I'd rather have straight up iron sights and old school all the way.
Yeah, I tend to agree with everyone that the dry firing's good, and learning how to shoot with iron sights is better. Point shootings, you can do that with the iron sights. Lasers, I find them to be a nice novelty, and the same with the red dots or whatever. If you're shooting pins at 25 yards, whatever, yeah, they're nice to shoot with. But I generally go open sights on all my guns. So, I mean, lasers to me are just fun to play with.
A guy I know, he sets up 4 steel targets, and he has them all numbered 1 through 4. And you kind of like get down in the ready, and you look at the ground, and he'll call up a number. Say it's number 3. Okay, you got to come up, draw, and shoot within a time frame of that number 3 target. And and it just varies. And boom, if you go back down, he'll call up 1, and then you got to go up. So I think that's what he was doing with me the one time, was just bringing up more instinctive shooting, because as it got faster, wasn't even thinking about the front sight. It was just about form and hitting the steel number that he called out. I mean, have you guys done anything like that before?
Personally, I have not. I mean, I've done little bits of competition shooting here and there. We did a lot of it at the farm. But that's kind of the main thing I've done. I haven't done anything along that particular line. I do a lot of dry fire practice, just like Alan does. My big thing with dry fire practice is a lot of training from the holster and drawing and getting on target and consistently drawing from that particular spot that I'm at, so that when that situation ever does arrive, you know, I consistently don't have to worry about it. It's instinctive how I'm going to draw that gun and get on target. But as for that particular style shooting that you're talking about, Daniel, I personally have not been into that yet. What about you, Ed? You done any of that?
Just some dry fire practice, but it's like with my revolvers, like I got the that 586, which still has the firing pin on the hammer. Well, I would have to use snap caps, you know, for something like that, but I don't carry that. But yeah, I think you know, like you're doing, you know, drawing from the holster to put my my gun on target is what I practice the most. You know, when I'm at home and I'm not doing anything, and you know, it's I'm not a how can I put it, full time doing the training type stuff, but I try to do things to keep myself on top, because you don't know what kind of situation you're going to run into, you know.
Absolutely. Joey, you got anything to throw in there?
Nah, basically the same exact thing. You know, you just dry runs from, you know, taking it out of your holster, trying to get on target.
Right.
That's about it. I mean,
I know they've got those systems out there that you can hook up a laser or whatever to your pistol, and it'll tell you when you shoot high or what you're doing wrong. How accurate that is, I don't know, but I've seen some videos on it.
And that's a good thing to bring up. What do you guys think on that kind of thing? I've seen a lot of videos as well, and you know, it's supposed to tell you.
Yeah, like Joey said, the
gun, or you know, like Ed said, was, you know, shooting high, shooting low, pulling to the right, pulling to the left. You know, how accurate do you think that kind of information is?
I mean, I've seen the Mantis.
Is that what it's called, Joey?
It's I mean, it's you can download the app onto your phone, and it actually looks like a little laser that you would put on the bottom of the gun. Now, like you said, how accurate it is, who the hell knows, because there's no direct point of aim in front of you. All it's basically doing is telling you if you're jerking the trigger, if you're pulling, if you know, whichever way you're pulling it or whatever. But then again, like I said, there's no straight direct point of aim in front of you. It basically goes off of the motion of the pistol as you dry firing.
Yeah, and until it tells you, you know, if you're pulling down, flinching, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, if you're anticipating the recoil.
For what they are, I think they're absolutely phenomenal tools. And from the reports that I've seen, the reviews that I've seen, they work really, really well. They give you a lot of different, they give you a ton of information for you to go over, and you'll be able to see patterns in the way that you do things and don't do things.
Right.
If you're a guy that's constantly squeezing too hard when you pull the trigger, you're going to see that pattern with that particular tool. I think that they're a nice tool. I would like to have one myself, but they're just too goddamn expensive.
And you bring up an exact point I was going to bring up, Alan. They're pricey. So for those that can't afford something like that, I know Rick is your six covered has done something along this lines. I've showed it a few times before in the past. But taking a penny or a coin of some sort, putting it on the top of your slide,
I've done that.
just slowly pulling that trigger and following the gun as you pull that trigger to make sure you're not twisting, make sure you're not pulling up, pulling down, that type of thing. It works well. Obviously, it's very cheap and effective. But the more you do it, the better you get. You can also use brass cases, obviously an empty case, that type of thing. Me and Rick did that in a live chat one day and just kind of showed that type of thing as well. But that's also a cheap, effective way to make sure as you are pulling that trigger that you have a consistent trigger pull the entire time.
There you're talking about, what was it, like one of those trading things is probably a couple $100 compared to a piece of brass.
Yeah, I think they run about $300 to $400.
Yeah, they are absolutely pricey units. I think they're phenomenal tools. But have I shoved a pencil in my gun and done the pencil against the wall on the paper trick? Absolutely, I've done that before. How expensive is that?
Okay, hold on. I gotta stop you. I've never heard of that one.
I've never heard that one either.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have a pencil in the drawer now.
Oh, you caught him off guard.
Come on, dude. You got called
I've done
out.
it before, but I don't know if I have a pencil in here.
You're doing it live. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah. You basically set the weapon up. You put the pencil all the way in.
Go find the pencil.
Up that far from the wall.
No. Go find a pencil.
Get a pen.
Come on, dude.
Oh,
you set yourself up. You got to do it live.
If you can't find a pencil or a pen, just grab a Sharpie.
All right. So while he's gone, any of you guys have anything else you want to throw out there?
No, I don't.
Ed, how about a quick update on how you're doing, brother? How are you? What's going on with your cancer? How's that going, man?
Well, I was on that radio show, Ibomi's radio show the other night, and they removed a tumor about the size of they said grapefruit. That's according to my surgeon, and it's one of those. It's one of those cancers that once they remove that mass, you don't usually have any problems with it after that. Now I don't know what kind CMAX has, but they'll run more tests on me. It's not going to end anytime soon, but anyway, that's and I'm doing real good. I got to start making videos again, and trying to change. Since I've been in the hospital and got out, a lot of people have traveled over to VidMe, so I got my channel over there too, and kind of working on that a little bit.
Why does Alan look like he's in timeout?
But yeah, I'm doing good.
You playing with yourself in the corner.
So yeah, very very simply, you cock your weapon. Obviously, weapon's clear. Okay, cock your weapon. Take your writing instrument. In this case, it just happens to be a ballpoint pen because that's what I had accessible. And get yourself lined up right with the target and pull your trigger. This will be able to tell you if you're going to be pulling down, if you're pulling this way, if you're pulling up. It's an old school drill.
That's pretty cool. Wow.
Wow, I've actually learned something from YouTube for once.
I've actually learned something from Alan. I've been subscribed to him since he pretty much started. And that's the first thing I've learned from Alan. Holy shit.
Hey, Alan, I got a question
Good
for you on
deal.
that though. Isn't the weight of the pencil or the or the pen actually weighted down in the barrel? When you showed it to us in the video, it's dropped down. It's not actually centered where a bullet would come out. It's actually starting lower than a bullet.
Well, it very well might be.
Turn it around. And I know you don't want to point it at yourself, but sort of do this and look at it. It's actually lower.
It tilts just a little bit. Just a little bit. But that's not going to put me that far off. I'm going to be able to tell if I'm jerking it this way, if my grip is pulling the pistol this way.
What do? You stand
that's the main point of that drill.
Well, what do? You stand like a half-inch away from the paper that you're aiming at?
Yeah. Stand like an inch away or so, just like I am with the camera now.
I think you just like shooting the camera.
Yeah, it's like playing darts.
Well, you know, he got a new microphone, so he's pretty happy.
Yeah. Oh, baby.
Fun too.
Yeah, it's an old school drill. Wicked's probably done it a million times.
You know, Scotsman, it must have been somebody that was very familiar with, stereo equipment and things like that to have come up with a neat, big microphone, old school microphone like that.
I have to agree with you there, Mel. I think it had to be someone that's very familiar with radio equipment. They may have, radio equipment in the back of their channel that you see when they're on live chats.
They're very, very stylish looking units. I mean, somebody had to have some kind of style to come up with that.
I mean, I don't know about you.
Retro.
Either that, or they took the shape of like a Vicodin and just kind of made a microphone out of it.
That large microphone, do you think he's overcompensating for something?
Sure, I've seen this particular person.
I don't know. Is it overcompensating?
Oh, God.
All right, so.
All right, guys. I'm going to get going, but I just wanted to thank everybody for their prayers and support while I was in the hospital and stuff. So love all you guys, and thanks for inviting me on the live chat here tonight.
Yeah,
really appreciate it.
Absolutely, Ed. We love having you, brother. We're gonna about jump off of here anyway. So if you want to do a quick outro before you jump off, we'd appreciate it.
Who's that?
You have anything
Me?
else you want to throw out? Yeah. You got anything else you want to throw out there?
No, just that love all you guys. No homo, just like brothers, and hope all the best for everybody. And Mel, I'll get with you about a holster.
Just email me.
I sure will.
All right.
Appreciate you jumping in, Ed.
Nice talking to you, Ed.
All right, you guys, take care.
You too.
Thanks for coming in, Ed. Good to see you, man.
Take care, Ed.
Thanks. You take care.
It's a great guy, great guy.
Absolutely. All right. With that being said, we've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes or so. A little longer than normal, which is fine. But I think we're starting to bore our audience. So, Joey, would you like to do your outro?
Yeah, Joey Cuz from the Homo State in New York. Guys can check me out on YouTube, Joey Cuz, and on VidMe. Other than that, not much going on with the channel right now. Just getting ready for eating a little turkey this week. That's about it.
All right, sounds good, man. Appreciate you jumping in.
Yeah, no problem. I knew you just wanted me just for that one question, just so you could rub it in my face. I can only hold 10 rounds.
Just a little bit. Just a
little bit.
Just a wee tad.
Just remember that next time you shortchange me one round.
And for any of you guys out there that don't know, just for shits and giggles, I sent Joey a magazine with 9 rounds just to be a jackass.
That prick couldn't even send me the 10th one.
All right. Phil M. Rivers, would you like to do an outro?
Sure. Got a new video up today on YouTube. I also got VidMe. Hope to have some new videos up over the weekend. Get some time off of work and get to the range. Funny thing is, one of them is going to be with the laser, and that's what I'm talking about tonight. And like I said, lasers to me are just fun to play with. I don't really use them on my guns, but they do show you how steady you hold the gun too, so they are fun. So y'all have a good night.
All right, man. Appreciate you jumping in. Really do appreciate it. Let's see. Who else we got? Daniel, God is my judge.
Okay, you're not going to mute me this time, are you? Okay. Oh, yeah. Daniel here, God is my judge. I kicked up a VidMe because I got tired of my videos getting deleted by YouTube without explanation. The censorship on YouTube is getting totally crazy. So anybody else out there, if you got a VidMe account, put it up in the chat so we can subscribe to you there also. Alan Scotsman, thank you for having me on tonight. And for anybody that does want to go to my VidMe, there it is. Daniel, I'm out.
All right. Appreciate you jumping in. Mel, Right to Bear Customs. Would you like to do an outro?
Yeah, this is Mel with Right to Bear Customs. I enjoyed being on tonight. I've been invited a couple times, but usually it's way past my bedtime during the week. But anyway, I need people to bear with me. Yesterday, my laser went down. That's what I do the etchings on the back of holsters with. And that's usually probably the main pull people want to do or buy a holster from me is the etchings and personalize things. It went down. They're saying 2 to 3 weeks. So, Scotsman, I'm sorry. I've got yours designed, but guess whose it went down on? It went down on your holster.
That's
So, they got half of it printed, and that was it. So I'm 2 or 3 weeks out on yours now. So hopefully they'll get it fixed for me, and I'll get back and up and running with holsters again. So people have bought them that haven't been sent. I sent out a couple today. The ones that haven't been sent out is going to be about 7 to 14 days before I can get some actually going out again. So. Plus, we got holidays coming up. I hope everybody have a great holiday this week. Thank you.
I appreciate you jumping in, man. And don't worry, take your time. I appreciate you helping me out. So I look forward to it. All right, Alan, you got anything else, brother?
Yeah, actually, apparently I'm going to be doing a limp wristing video here soon. I do have a gal that's going to allow me to use a Glock also for that testing. That's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I think I'm just going to thrive on that. Got a number of videos out there. One of the videos that I have out there is a video that's asking people to put their VidMe links in the comments section. I've had a VidMe for a while. I've already been verified. I'm not looking to get more followers from that. What I'm looking to do is get people connected with other people on that particular video. So if you do have a VidMe account, go over, find that video, and put your VidMe account in there. I've got a number of things going on, but right at the moment, I'm just going to say thank everybody for being in the panel tonight. I was glad to see everybody show up. I was glad to see everybody show up in the side chat. Even that Billy Badass Wicked Sensation. If I can get that dude in the chat, I swear there's a lot of information out there that guy could share with us. Other than that, shut the fuck up, Joey, and keep your magazines loaded and one in the chamber.
Awesome. Well, like everyone else said on here, I appreciate everyone showing up. Joey, because Alan said it wrong. Hashtag shut the fuck up, Joey. Peace. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great Thanksgiving, and we will see you guys next Monday.